look at the Indian National Congress Foundation phase. The foundation stone of Indian National Congress was laid down by A.O. Humes, who was a retired English civil servant. A.O. Humes mobilized the leading intellectuals of that time, and with their cooperation, he organized the first session of INC at Gokul Das Tejpal Sanskrit College in Bombay in December 1885, with 72 delegates attending it and presided by Vyomesh Chandra Banerjee. Some of the prominent leaders at that time who presided over the Congress sessions were Dadabhai Naroji, who presided for 3 times, Badruddin Tyabji, Firoz Shah Mehta, P. Anand Charlu, Surendranath Banerjee, Romesh Chandra Dutt, Anand Mohan Bose, and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. In 1890, Kadambini Ganguly was the first woman graduate of Calcutta University who addressed the Congress session, which symbolized the commitment of freedom struggle and to give women of India their due status in national life. According to Humes, the Congress formed would prove as safety valve between the British government and the Indian masses, and also Congress would be facing the growing discontent of the Indians. To this end, he convinced Lord Dufferin not to obstruct the formation of Congress. The aims and objective of Congress was to found a democratic and nationalist movement, also politically educate the people, establish the headquarters for a movement, promote friendly relations among the nationalist political workers from different parts of our country. Also to develop and propagate an anti-colonial nationalist ideology and to formulate and present popular demands before the government. Also to develop and consolidate a feeling of national unity among the people and carefully promote and nurture Indian nationhood, which worked against the safety valve theory of A.O. Humes. Now we will look at the era of moderates from the year 1885 to 1905. The moderates were staunch believers of liberalism and moderate politics. So, according to them, the political activities would involve constitutional agitation through resolutions, petitions, meetings, etc. The moderates believed that the British basically wanted to be just to the Indians but were not aware of the real conditions. The moderates used the method of prayer and petition and also believed that the political connection with Britain were in India's interest at that stage of history. The methods on which the moderates worked were to create a strong public opinion to arouse the consciousness and national spirit, also to persuade the British government and British public opinion to introduce the reforms in India. Now we will look at the contribution of the moderate nationalists. They were strong economic critic of British imperialism. The early nationalists led by Dadabhai Naroji, R.C. Dutt and Dinshaw Vacha and others carefully analyzed the political economy of British rule in India. They put forward the drain of theory to explain how British exploited the Indians. They also put forward demands like reduction in land revenue, abolition of salt tax, improvement in working condition of the plantation laborers, and also encouragement of the modern industry through tariff protection and direct government aid. The national leaders also worked towards the constitutional reform and propaganda in the legislatures. The legislative councils in India had no real official powers till the year 1920. Yet, work done by the nationalists helped the growth of national movement. The nationalist demand for constitutional reforms were centered around expansion of councils, that is, greater participation of Indians in the council, reform of councils, that is, more power to the councils, especially greater control over the finances. They also gave the slogan "No taxation without representation." Also demanded self-government on the lines of self-governing colonies of Canada and Australia. This helped in generating anti-imperialist sentiments among the public. The moderates also campaigned for the general administrative reforms like Indianization of the government services. They also called for separation of judicial from the executive functions and criticized the tyrannical bureaucracy and an expensive and time-consuming judicial system. They also criticized of an aggressive foreign policy. Moderates called for an increase in the expenditure on welfare and also demanded for better treatment of Indian labor abroad in other British colonies where they faced oppression as well as racial discrimination. Also, civil rights became an integral part of the freedom struggle. The early nationalists did a great deal of awakening national sentiments even though they could not draw the masses to them. They represented the most progressive force at the time. They were also able to create a wide national awakening of all the Indians having the common interests and the need to rally around a common program. Above all, the feeling of belonging to one nation. They trained the people in political work and popularized modern ideas. They exposed the basically exploitative character of colonial rule, thus undermining its moral foundation. Their political work was based on hard realities and not a shallow sentiment, religion, etc. They were able to establish the basic political truth that India should be ruled in the interest of Indians and also created a solid base for major vigorous militant mass-based national movement in the year that followed. However, they failed to widen their democratic base and the scope of their demands. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. For more videos, please subscribe our channel.